Hey everyone, we're all pretty used to AI that can look at a picture and tell you what's in it, or maybe even understand a short little video clip. But what happens when you ask it to do something we do all the time, like watch a full-length movie? Well, today we're diving deep into that exact challenge, teaching an AI to understand not just single moments, but entire stories.
So let's start with a really simple question. Why can't you just ask your phone's AI to summarize the latest blockbuster for you? I mean, it seems like it should be able to, right? But if you've ever actually tried it, you know it just can't. And the reason why it can't, well, that reveals this huge fundamental problem that researchers are only just now starting to solve.
And that brings us to what the experts call the long video problem. Honestly, it's one of the biggest hurdles in artificial intelligence right now. It's all about making that jump from understanding these tiny bite-sized clips to comprehending long, complex narratives that can go on for minutes or even hours.
Now, the official term for this is Long Video Understanding, or LVU for short. And this is so much more than just spotting an object in a frame. It's about connecting events over time, understanding cause and effect, and really tracking how characters and relationships change. All the stuff that we do automatically when we're watching a film.
So why is this so incredibly hard? Well, current AI models basically have two main strategies, and frankly, both are deeply flawed. The first approach is kind of like a speed reader. It tries to watch the movie by just grabbing frames here and there, basically speed reading the visuals. But in doing that, it misses so much information. It sees a few snapshots, but the actual story? Completely lost. The other strategy is like a simple search engine. It's pretty good at finding a specific moment if you describe it, like find the scene with a car chase. But it has no ability to connect the dots. It can find the what, but it has absolutely no clue about the why.
To really get a sense of how badly these systems can fail, let's walk through a perfect little case study from the research. It's a super simple story that totally stumps the AI.
Okay, so here's how our story starts. The video shows this big, loud fireworks display lighting up the night sky. This is our first key event.
A little bit later in that same video, we see this. It's a scared orange cat and it's hiding under a table. You can tell it's pretty frightened. That's event number 2.
And finally, we get the end of our little drama. The cat's owner is now holding it, comforting it in their arms.
So the question they asked the AI is one that any of us could answer in a heartbeat. Why is the cat lying in its owner's arms?
And total failure. The search engine AI does its thing. It finds the clip of the cat in the owner's arms, but it has zero context. It completely missed the fireworks and the part where the cat was hiding. It can't make the simple connection that the loud noise scared the cat, which is why it's being comforted. It just can't answer the question.
Okay, so if the old ways are totally broken, what's the solution? Well, this is where the big breakthrough happens. The researchers basically decided to stop trying to build a better search engine, and instead, they set out to build an AI that thinks a lot more like we do.
The old machine approach, as we just saw, is a mess. It either skips crucial details or it can't connect them. But just think for a second about how you watch a movie. You don't just see frames. You build up this holistic memory of the story. And when someone asks you a question about it, you reason about what information you need, and then you pull those key moments from your memory to put together the answer.
And that, right there, is the core idea behind a brand new framework called MEMVID. And the researchers are really direct about it in their paper. They say their goal was to create an AI inspired by the cognitive memory of human beings. They didn't just want an AI that could see. They wanted one that could remember, and most importantly, one that could reason.
So how in the world does this thing actually work? Well, MEMVID uses this really cool 4-step process that's meant to mimic how our own brains work. It's not about searching anymore, it's about thinking.
Let's break this down. Step 1, memorizing. It scans the entire video, no skipping, to build a complete memory of everything that happens. Then, step 2, reasoning. When you ask it a question, it doesn't just look for keywords. It actually thinks, to answer this, what information do I need to find? And it generates a set of clues. Step 3 is retrieving. Using those smart clues, it goes back into its memory and pulls out only the moments that are actually important. And finally, step 4, focusing. It takes just those few key clips and uses them, and only them, to build the correct answer.
Okay, let's use a more complex example they tested. If you ask a normal AI, why did Tony Stark become Iron Man? A simple search just isn't going to cut it. But MEMVID reasons first. It generates clues for itself like, Tony Stark gets kidnapped, he sees his weapons being used by terrorists, and he builds the first suit to escape.
Then it goes and finds exactly those moments in the movie to put together a really complete answer. It is a total game changer.
Now, that all sounds great in theory, but a clever idea is only as good as its results, right? So the researchers put MemVid head-to-head against the old methods in a whole bunch of tests.
And the results, they speak for themselves. This chart shows how they did on really complex reasoning tasks. The old speed reader model gets a score of 70. The simple search engine does a little better at 77. But then there's MemVid. With its human-like memory and reasoning, it just leaps ahead to 85. That's not just a small bump, it's a really significant improvement.
But here's the thing. Getting the right answer is only half the story. What is truly mind-blowing is that MemVid does all of this while being unbelievably efficient. Just look at this table. A powerful older model needed to chew through over 1,000 frames of video to come up with an answer. MemVid, it only needs 64. That's a 94% reduction. This also makes it over 35% faster. And here's the real kicker. While using way fewer resources, its performance is more than 17% better. It is a massive leap forward in both accuracy and efficiency. It's just wow.
So this is obviously about way more than just summarizing movies. This kind of technology could have some really profound effects on how AI understands and interacts with the world around us.
I mean, think about the real-world applications here. For a self-driving car, it's not enough to see a snapshot. It needs to understand the whole story of a traffic situation as it unfolds. For security, an AI could sift through hundreds of hours of footage to find the 2 or 3 key moments that actually explain what happened. It could completely change how we analyze the billions of videos online, or even help a robot in your home understand its environment, not just right now, but over a long period of time.
When you boil it all down, this research is pushing us so much closer to an AI that doesn't just see pixels and frames. It's pushing us toward an AI that actually understands context and narrative and cause and effect, an AI that understands stories.
And that really leaves us with one last, huge question to think about. If AI is developing this human-like ability to remember and reason about the visual world, what will it be able to understand about our world next? Thanks for watching.